Poštovani gledatelji, srdačan pozdrav. Čast nam je što je gost u programu televizije Bosne i Hercegovine njegovo blaženstvo Monsignor Fouad Twal, jerusalemski patrijarh u mirovini. Obnašao je i dužnost predsjednika regionalne biskupske konferencije Sjeverne Afrike te predsjednika biskupske konferencije u Svetoj zemlji. Your Excellency, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
You were invited to Sarajevo by Monsignor Franjo Topić, the president of Napredak. You had a chance to meet with religious leaders from our country, from all religions in Bosnia and Herzegovina. They often say that Sarajevo is the Jerusalem of Europe. What is your impression on inter-religious and inter-ethnic relations in our country?
This is a good title for you, Jerusalem of Europe. I come from the real Jerusalem. The fact is Jerusalem, whether here or there, must be city of peace, of prayer, of dialogue, of collaboration between the many ethnics. The fact is there we have more violence, more hatred. There's no more city of peace. Here I admire, I heard from the cardinal, from other leaders, you have meeting, you have collaboration, you have dialogue. That's nice. We need that more than ever. At the same time, in Jerusalem, we have meeting, international dialogue, but often this meeting is very high and doesn't go to the street, to the humble people. I remember the meeting of His Holiness the Pope in Egypt, the meeting in Emirate, with the big Mufti of Egypt. Nice meeting, we need this meeting, but in fact, this meeting are very high. They don't reach the humble people struggling for their life, for their work, to educate their children, to find work, to avoid immigration. This is the situation. In your Jerusalem, of Europe, as well as in our Jerusalem, we have the big problem, the drama of the immigration of the people. For me, immigration of the Christians from the Holy Land to Latin America, to Europe and so on. We don't need Jerusalem to be a museum for holy places, holy sites, without community, without people, without living stones.
What could be the key to recovering our society, Jerusalem society, any society that is divided by religious and ethnic lines?
Well, in our dialogue between ethnics, there are truths, there are dogma for each religion, for each faith, that we cannot negotiate. Dogma is dogma, faith is faith. There is difference between our religion. We must accept this difference and respect this difference. But at the same time, we have many common points on which we can work together. The charity, the citizenship, the education, the knowledge from each other. We have many good points that we can work together, and I think we must underline these common points and not underline the difference between us.
How does the life of Christians in the Holy Land and in Jerusalem, the city that we mostly hear about when it comes to new tensions, new conflicts between Israel and Palestine, how does their life look like today?
For the people, the simple people, we have to remember that my Patriarchate covers Cyprus, Palestine, Israel, and Jordan. The same Patriarchate, normally we have one state and many churches. There we have my church and many states, and we have borders between. It is different from region to other region. If we think about the Palestine of the 48, the Palestinian, the 48, they have the same passport, Israeli passport. They are Israeli citizen. Meanwhile, in the Holy Land, Ramallah, Jerusalem, Bethlehem, Beit Jala, it is occupied territory. It is occupation. Occupation is bad. Any occupation is bad. Bad for the occupier, for Israel, and bad for the occupied people. Nobody accepts occupation. And Palestinians are struggling for their freedom, for their independence, for their power of auto-determination. Israel is occupying the territory and doesn't make any respect for international law. That's why now with the mandate of Trump, it is worse than before. Before the arrival of Trump, we in the Holy Land, Jordan, Palestine, we hoped a little bit more in Europe to play a political role, not only financial role, to give help to the Palestinian, to Jordanian. We wanted Europe to have a political role. Unfortunately, there is no role for Europe. Europe now is weak. It is not the same. Europe is divided more than ever. And beside, for the question of Palestine, Holy Land, we can say it is a monopoly for Israel and America. They don't leave another people to decide or to intervene or to help. It is monopoly for them. That's why it is more difficult for us, for the question of Palestine, to have a solution. No more. Politique, I can say it is immoral. Politique is a politique of interest only. They don't look for justice, for peace, for Christian community, for our immigration. That doesn't mean anything for them. Politique is politique. It looks like a bulldozer, can kill anybody just to reach, to achieve their goals. And this is the question in the Holy Land.
Does the general state of mind, the way that ordinary people in this area think, the way they live every day, really reflects all those tensions that you just mentioned that are politically produced? Or do they try to live a different life?
I can say that now today many have two plans. Plan A, stay and work as much as possible. Plan B, how to immigrate for the future. For the moment, people, they don't trust the leaders. They don't trust the politic. No more trust. Because after many years, the situation is the same, a little bit worse than before. They don't trust, and the life is more and more difficult. That's why our drama as religious leaders is to lose our people, our faithful. Many are immigrating. They want to immigrate. Palestinian people, we have more Palestinian people in Latin America than in Palestine, much more. And the others, if they can leave, they will be happy to leave. In Jerusalem, our Jerusalem has Christians, even Muslims and Jews. In Jerusalem we have maximum 7,000-8,000 Christians. Altogether, Catholic, Orthodox and Protestant in Jerusalem, 7 or 8, and 250,000 Muslims and 500,000 Jews. We are only 7,000-8,000. We recall in the gospel, you will be the salt of the earth. Salt is very small quantity to give taste to the society. I hope we can give taste to the society. But the fact is we are very minority. Good people, faithful people, Christian good people are and will be always a minority. Even in a big country, Christian country like Europe, like America, good and faithful people, faithful to God, faithful to the family, faithful to the education, they will be always a minority. It's a fact.
Unfortunately. You've mentioned the immigration of the Christians in the Holy Land. We've just heard the numbers right there. Is the immigration still ongoing?
Still, yeah. Still, only old people in Palestine. Only old people cannot leave. They are still there, and very young people are still there. But young couples are trying to immigrate. We remember the walls that Israel built in the Holy Land. It is high meters and 7,000 kilometers long from south to north. These walls separate people, separate families, separate the churches, separate the faithful from each other. And so these young people, when they finish studying, what they can do? The first option with these walls is to immigrate, is to leave. This is our drama. This is our drama in the Holy Land. Yeah. As the Pope said, as we said often, in the Holy Land, in the Middle East, even here in your Jerusalem of Europe, I think we need more bridges and less walls. We need more trust, more collaboration, more trust between each other, between the ethnies. And I like what you are doing here in Sarajevo. The people are meeting together, Orthodox and Catholic and Muslims, doing what they can do for the faithful. That is a good example that we can export to other Muslim land outside where there is no collaboration, no dialogue. This is our situation. We are there. In Jordan, thanks God, there is stability. We are 2% as a number, 2%. But when you come, we give the impression to be 20 or 30%. We are present in universities, hospitals, education, schools. We are everywhere as Christians. And we live good. We feel at home in Jordan. It is more stability than Palestine, than the Gulf, and then Syria, than Iraq. Jordan is still, thanks God, stable, and we hope it will be better.
Listening to you, it seems to me like the most of the people have lost their hope that it would get better ever. Is it really like that? Is there any hope left?
According to human mentality, human means, we lost hope. We lost hope. Human. When we look about the conditions, about the situation in the Gulf, situation in Iraq, in Syria, Libya, really we lost hope. But if we go back to the religious dimension, if we remember what the Lord said for us, that we have our cross, we must bear our cross. At the same time, he said, don't be afraid, I will never leave you alone. I will never let you alone. So, according to his words, to the gospel, we cannot lose hope. And we leaders, we cannot lose hope. We must encourage our people and to stay and to hope and to work for the society, to work for the country, to work, to do something. We leaders, even one time, sometime we suffer more, we are more afraid. We cannot say that for our common people. We must encourage them to say, we hope, we pray, we do our best through education, especially education, that one day it will be better.
What is the fate of Gaza?
Gaza, when I arrived as the Patriarch, we used to have 5,000 Christians. Now, altogether, Gaza, we have about 2 million. On Easter and on Christmas, Christians used to come from Gaza to Bethlehem, to Jerusalem, to pray with me. and often they never went back. So now we have 500-600 persons as Christians. From 5,000, we have 500 persons only, and others left. Gaza is a prison with open sky. Nobody can live in Gaza with these conditions became a fabric of terrorism. Nobody can accept the conditions of life in Gaza. You have electricity 3 hours, 2 hours by day. The hospitals are without means, without tools, without medicines, without that. Gaza is the worst point on the earth, I think. And you cannot get out, you cannot go inside. When I was visiting my people, it is with permission from the military authority of Israel, and nobody can leave, nobody can go in. It is not a life. It is not a life. And I think with these conditions, with these very bad conditions, you become a revolutionary, you become a terrorist, you can do anything just to get outside from the situation. You cannot put 2 million people in this city. The density, the most dense in the world is Gaza. You cannot put 2 million people there and ask them, stay quiet. Stay quiet. Don't throw stones, don't make anything, but stay there. You cannot work, you cannot go outside, you cannot go inside. No medicine, bad water to drink, bad things to eat. It is not human, not human. And the world look on Gaza, and they ask why they are revolt, why they are not happy, why they throw stones, why they manifest all the time, why? Nobody asks how they can live there. I am not from Gaza. I visited Gaza many times, and each time is worse. It's not human life.
Pope Francis often meets world leaders. Also in his messages, he's always calling for peace, for reconciliations. What is the importance of his messages and his political activism?
I worked with him. I received him in Jerusalem, as I received the other popes, all the popes who visited the Holy Land, especially Benedict and Francis. Francis is defending the cause of even the refugees. But I'm asking whether the people read his speech or can we put them in practice. He had very important 2 meetings, one in Egypt with the Grand Mufti of the Republic of Egypt, and with the same Mufti another meeting in the Emirate. And they wrote a very nice letter asking many faithful people, Muslims and Christians, to collaborate together, education, work, understanding, prayer together. But I am afraid that this very good speech still are on high level and never reached the street, the common people. Common people, the Pope is very far for them, as the Patrijarh is a little bit far. Common people are struggling to find work, to educate the children, good education, to have peace, I don't know, they suffer too much. But that doesn't mean we have to stop. We have to go on with this meeting, with this dialogue. On another level, there is a dialogue of theology, it is okay. But more than this, there is a dialogue of life, our daily life with the Muslims. It is the best dialogue of friendship, dialogue of trust with your neighbors, with your work, in the school, in the fabric, in the office, in the bureau. I think this is the best dialogue. And best than this dialogue is our charity. Charity. Our hospitals, our Caritas, working for handicapped people, for poor people, is the best dialogue that everybody can understand. Even the crazy people, the most crazy people, with your charity, with our charity, we can do something, I think.
I cannot unmention this historical gesture that the whole world witnessed when the Israeli and the Palestinian presidents planted the tree for peace in the Vatican Gardens. Did it just stay a gesture, or did it make things just a little bit better?
That was in 2014. I was the Patrijarh of Jerusalem. Pope Francis came. And he said, we will have something special. And he wanted to gather the two presidents, Abbas and Peres, in Notre Dame of Jerusalem. And we couldn't. Netanyahu refused. He wanted to gather them in Bethlehem, the two presidents. And he couldn't. And then he said, okay, we cannot do this, during his visit in the Holy Land, when I was there. And then he said, okay, I invite you to my house in Rome, in the Vatican. And we went all in Rome. We have many nice journalists there. And the two presidents planted this tree in the garden of the Vatican. But one was unhappy from this gesture. One called Netanyahu. He was not invited to this celebration. Okay, they planted the tree. We had many hoped in this, and hope, a good intention, is still good intention, no more, without any result. 1 week after this nice ceremony, Netanyahu announced he will build 1,400 houses, apartments on Palestinian territories. That was his reaction against this plant. That was good gesture, good intention. And the plant is still there, the Vatican. I hope it's growing. I hope growing still there, yeah. Yeah, it was pretty. It was very nice. We had hope. But the good intention is still intention, no more.
What is your opinion on today's media? The social networks, the social media have become our source of information, of news, but also a very fertile ground for fake news. How much damage can those fake news make to our society? And how great is the pressure on journalists that only want to tell the truth?
No, you are absolutely right. Yeah, something negative. We church, we came a little bit too late to this mass media to use them. They were used before us. A little bit too late. Now the negative aspect that everybody can use this mass media, whether true or fake. Everybody can use them, and it is a big danger. I think we need more education for this. We need more courage to say the truth. We need more education. I don't know. Now everybody can. This mass media can ruin a government, can ruin a president, and can defend any another person. It is not a local problem. It is a challenge for the government, the people. And when we think about the children, their education, they can use, what they cannot use. I think it is big responsibility to the leaders, to the political people, to the church, to the parents. And we have to work all together for this mass media. It is a very, we need this mass media. We cannot avoid them. It is very helpful, but in the same time can be very dangerous. That's why I think collaboration between government, institutions and parents is more necessary than ever. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And maybe some final thoughts for all the citizens of Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, my best wishes and the assurance of my prayer for you in this country. I hope that we can have collaboration between the Jerusalem of Europe and the real Jerusalem of the Holy Land. Our best wishes, and we believe in God. We hope in God, in His help. And there is many good people with goodwill. We rely on you, on the mass media, to help us in our mission. May the Lord bless you. And I hope to see you again once more in Jerusalem or in Jordan. And you will be the most welcome.
Thank you very much.
God bless you. Thank you.
Poštovani gledatelji, bio je to njegovo blaženstvo Monsignor Fouad Twal, jerusalemski patrijarh u mirovini. Hvala na pozornosti. Doviđenja.